All right, aloha from the radio desk here on Molokai, Hawaii. I wanted to make this final video here, my final thoughts in the XHDATA D219 series, and tell you the good and the bad about it. This is a $10 radio, so again you have to keep that in mind. It is, XHDATA puts out some good products. They got the 808, which is actually getting a little bit old. They got some newer, the competition has some newer radios that are definitely knocking at its door and beating it at a few things. But this one here, they've sold a lot of these radios at $10. They sold a lot of them, and the XHDATA, the quality is there. You can feel this radio, and it is a quality build. They're using good materials here. The radio will last, and it's designed pretty well. It's pretty easy. You got your changing your frequencies down below here with the slide. It has some clicks, very easy. Simple to use. On the top, it's got the headphone jack and the power on and off. You got your tuner on the side, of course, with your volume, and you even have the little kickstand on the back, which is a nice little feature. One thing that's lacking is an external port for an antenna, but for $10, you can definitely forgive that. I don't have a problem with that at all. The tuning knob here, the tuner. It's just different than other radios. Not that much so in this price range, but it kind of reminds me of old transistor radios in the 60s and 70s, where you're turning them, and you do get a lot of movement in the frequencies with just a fraction of a turn. Some of the newer more of the digital tuners, you're turning that knob and you're getting a click. So it's just a different feel. For this radio, it actually works great. So it's not a problem. It just feels a little bit different. Antenna's nice, and it works well. It works really well with that only that telescopic antenna. I did the video with the clip-on of the magic wand, and it didn't really help much at all. So the telescopic antenna really does well with this radio. So a lot of good features here. The only complaint that I have, besides the no external jack, and again at the price point, I'm definitely forgiving that, is the bleed over on strong stations, and that is a big one. So it depends on where you're located at. If you've got a lot of really strong stations, and it was pretty much on any band. You saw it in the videos. It was on the AM band, it was on the shortwave band. If you got a strong signal coming in, you lose a lot of the band, because you'll be turning that knob quite a bit before you get past that bleed over, and another station's allowed to get by it. So if you have a weak station, if you're doing serious DXing with this, and you have a weak station, but it just so happens to be in your area close to a strong station, it's going to prohibit you from bringing in that smaller weak station. So that's something maybe XHDATA is going to come out with an updated version and update this one a little bit. They seem to be concentrating more on these lower priced radios. So that is something that may happen. They may come out with a fix for that for this model, and if they did, it would. I don't know of anything that would beat it in the $10 price point. That's for sure. If they can keep it at $10, so that would be a huge win. So then it takes us to the important question of, is it worth it for $10? Yeah. But you have to keep in mind, depending on where you're living, if you have a lot of stations that are strong stations and you want to try to bring in some weaker ones, if that's the case, then I would say no. But if you listen to a lot of strong stations and you're casual in DXing and just want to try it out and see if you would like it, this is a great starting point. So in that situation, it's a yes. It is a great all-around The size is about perfect. It'll fit in your pocket. So it is a really good radio for that. But once you get a little bit more serious, if you get serious into DXing, you're going to move on, from this radio. But if you want to just get started for $10, definitely grab it. You're going to get a lot of listening out of this radio because it does work great in pretty much every facet except for that bleed over. And if you don't end up getting serious into DXing, and it's still going to be well worth it because of the strong signals that it brings in, the sound quality, everything else about this radio is great. So for a starting point, yes, this gets the thumb up, but you do have to watch out for that bleed over, and definitely consider something else if you think that's going to be an issue for you. All right, that's my final thoughts here at the radio desk on Molokai, Hawaii. Aloha.